Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out why I had all set up and ready to go, and now my screen is not sharing. So I'm just trying to get the joys of technology in this space. So let me just rephrase because I got disconnected. The reason why we're doing this is the importance of being positive during this time. As people, as leaders, this is only day one, and I'm hearing and I'm seeing, because I'm in social media, I'm seeing everything that's going around, and people are not adhering to the lockdown, and so this is a time every day, 4 o'clock, a check-in. How are you? Where you guys are? What's going on? And let's try and see if we can uplift each other throughout the 21-day lockdown, if it only stays 21 days. If it goes longer, then we carry on. I think the importance of uplifting one another during this time and being there for people, because we can't do it physically, is something that we can all achieve during this time. I am just trying to open and share a file, and then there you go. If you guys can all see the PowerPoint screen, so I know that we are limited with time. Okay, so what we're going to cover today is a little bit more around just setting up your profile correctly. What that means is when you are going into setting up your LinkedIn profile, you need to consider a few things. So I'm going to go through why your LinkedIn profile is so important, because otherwise you're just going to say, oh, well, Noleen, LinkedIn is not as important because it's just a job-seeking portal. No, it's not. It's actually such a powerful tool. Yes, you can get a job. If your job is in disarray at the moment because of the lockdown, here's an opportunity to update your LinkedIn and how to update your LinkedIn. But as you're going along throughout the 21-day lockdown, you're going to see little snippets of me coming in every other day, helping you set up your LinkedIn profile in such a way that it helps as executives, it helps as businesses, it helps as people in general in terms of communication. On Twitter, on Facebook, we've got a lot of negative vibes, especially on that. But on LinkedIn, there's a lot more positive encounters and people engaging around how it's impacting business. So this is the opportunity now to actually set up your LinkedIn in such a way that it tells people exactly who you are and what you do. Okay, so just trying to press play and next picture. Okay, and now it's gone. There you go. Okay. So why social media? This is a video that I'm going to show you right now that talks about the differences in what the different technologies and why social media is important. Okay, that video is not playing. That's okay. I will send you the link afterwards because I know we are pressed for time and I want to get through as much of your LinkedIn as possible. So as we send out the recording, we'll also send out the link for the video. It's called Socialnomics from, I'll be lying if I tell you. The brain is full of lots of ideas at the moment and just not the words that I'm needing. So why social media? Because social media is in every single part of our lives, now more so than ever. So if you think about it, you probably didn't think that digital was as important 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, we were all running around, still meeting in person, and now suddenly we're all forced into this sphere where we're not allowed to make physical contact with people. We're not allowed to go out and meet. And now's the opportunity to make sure that we're putting out a positive message. I want to ask any of you, have you actually Googled yourself? I know I do it every 2-3 weeks just to make sure there's no dodgy content out there. But Googling yourself actually does a good check on what is actually out there. What are you busy talking about? And what are people seeing when you are being Googled? Think about when you are meeting someone for the first time, whether it be an interview, whether it be for a business associate, business meeting, whoever, you go and Google that person's name and what comes up. Their LinkedIn, their Facebook, and all of those wonderful social media platforms. What is your LinkedIn and your social presence saying about you? Okay. So Google yourself. This recording will be available afterwards, so I am going to go fairly fast. Now, last year, so 17th of February 2019, government, yes, those people have actually said that they are going to make sure that they are looking at your social media posts before they even hire you, which means they're doing it in procurement already. What are you doing to make sure that your social media presence is, well, you guys are here, which is a start. Okay. This is some stats. These are newly released. They were released last month. South Africa has 58 million people with 103 mobile devices. Yes, that's like 2 mobile devices per person. You can do the math. So everybody is thinking mobile first. You think about it, you've got it on your phone, you've got it on your iPad, you've got it on your computer, you've got LinkedIn everywhere. You've got an opportunity to connect with people consistently with social media. Daily time spent on with media. Now you think, okay, 9 hours. This is internet usage for South Africa only. Okay, I'll show you where we are on the spectrum now. Internet usage is 9 hours, more than 9 hours a day that we're sitting on the internet. Where we are on the spectrum, we're second in the world in terms of sitting on social media. So you've got Philippines and then you've got good old South Africa that's just behind them. So in spectrum, South Africa is connected and is sitting on the internet. And what are you doing to make sure you're having a positive impact in South Africa these days? Daily time used spending on social media. This is where we are in the spectrum. Social media, we have 3 hours of captive time. This is now the average with people on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not sure if TikTok, because I know my kids are sitting on TikTok. I don't know if TikTok is on this list as a social media at this point, because I think they'd spend, I don't know, those 9 hours on TikTok alone. LinkedIn audience. These are the new stats. South Africa, you have 6 of 7.6 million people you can ultimately reach on LinkedIn. Last year, this time, it was 6.9 million. We have gone up by 700,000 people on LinkedIn alone that you could possibly connect to. Now, while I was in corporate and I was in sales and marketing about 10 years ago, my executive said to me, okay, so get us a database of CIOs. And I was like, I don't know where to get that because we're in training and development. We have HR and training, and we add value in that perspective. So we don't have CIOs and IT managers. They didn't know, they didn't care. I had to go to Google. I found LinkedIn. And for me, that was a database at that time. But then I started realizing the value because I see even Ben. Hi, Ben. Ben is on here because we connected on LinkedIn years ago. And every year we have a lunch and just a connect and saying, how's it going? It's a genuine connect. And we started building a friendship because of utilizing LinkedIn as a tool for building relationships and not just spamming people with random information. Okay, next slide. So LinkedIn audience overview in terms of worldwide reach, 663 million people worldwide. So if you've got an international business, you've got plenty of opportunity to connect with people all around the world. And guess what? While in lockdown, you have their undivided attention. Okay, so what does a good LinkedIn profile have? Professional headline, profile background image, and I'll show you all of this as we go in live into LinkedIn. Customized URL, updated with your company website and details. optimizing your summary, adding a company description to your experience, adding up to 50 skills. You've got 50 skills. Now, when I'm telling you this, I'm saying every single word is searchable on LinkedIn, which means you need to utilize all the character space that you can in terms of search optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So in the company description area, are you explaining in your experience, what do you do? How do you add value? Projects, publications, building blocks, so courses that you've done. Remember, everything is searchable. So we're going to make sure we add in rather too much. This is not a 2-page CV, guys. This is an opportunity to make sure that whatever skill set is being looked for, you are the person that they're finding, so that they have an opportunity to have a conversation with you. Asking for recommendations is key because this builds your credibility. On my recommendations alone, I have received numbers of business because of the fact that people go and look at my recommendations because it's an active recommendation. In other words, you can look at my profile at any time, contact those people before you even contact me to say, how is Noleen's work? Okay, next. So fun little do's and don'ts. Photos. Okay, guys, the ones on the top, yeah, those can be great Facebook photos. I've got a sense of humor and I love, making people laugh. So I hope you guys are giggling there in the background. I am your mother. But the bottom is photos I've taken as selfies. So in other words, either with my webcam or with my phone, or gotten someone with their camera quickly just to take a photo. It doesn't have to be a professional photo to have an updated photo, but this is the reason why you need an updated photo. Men, you are graying or losing your hair or deciding that in your old age. I have a client that is deciding to grow their hair instead of cutting it short. Ladies, we change our hairstyle all the time. I have to keep mine updated. As you can see, I've had very long hair, very short hair, medium, I've had it all. And so what you want to do is keep your profile as updated as possible for 2 reasons. 1, it's just good etiquette. 2, when someone meets you for the first time, now even online, when they see your webcam for the first time and they see you, but that doesn't look like the person that I'm actually speaking to, there's a sudden disconnect and a sudden mistrust. So the psychology behind that is saying, I can't trust this person. And you don't know why you're not getting business from this person, but it's because they actually don't have a connection. Somehow they've mistrusted you. So if you can at all, keep your photo not more than 6 months old. Okay, that's enough about photos. Let's go into LinkedIn itself. So if I am going to share my screen, do you want to stop? Yes. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Please just give me a thumbs up and tell me that you can see LinkedIn and my LinkedIn feed at the moment. Okay, if it's all working, sorry, I have to go between screens so I can see that you're giving me a thumbs up. Yay, thumbs up. Okay, so typically when you go into LinkedIn, the first thing that you are going to see is, oh yes, if you haven't had enough coffee, your name on the left-hand side saying this is who I am. Now what you want to do is go through the process of going, okay, so now that I know what my name is, what do I need to do in terms of your LinkedIn? Now, in the video that you didn't see earlier, the video goes through and tells you that you have 7 seconds to make an impression, but I think it's even less now from that video that was made about a year ago. Because if you think about yourself, when you are scrolling, you are going, okay, up, up, up. It's like 3 seconds or 2 seconds as you are scrolling. And especially if it's a sponsored post, you ignore it. So my suggestion is make sure that your first few seconds of your LinkedIn profile says exactly what you do. So as you can see at the top of my profile, everywhere where there's a pen is where you can make edits. Now, I can tell you now, and this I've done loads of these training sessions, that the first thing that you guys see when you are looking at someone's profile is the pictures. Your eyes first went to the picture at the top, teaching the art of B2B selling, then to my face, and then possibly to my name, and possibly you read further down. But at this point, some of you have just the normal blue connect the dot picture that says, or you have this background that says, I'm in Cape Town or wherever. So you've got Table Mountain, or you've got a flower, or you've got something that actually has nothing to do with the business that you're currently in. Whether you're an executive or whether you're just a PA, do something that's related back to the business that you're in. Firstly, it shows loyalty to the current business that you're in. Secondly, it shows people who are you and what are you about at a glance. This is an opportunity. This is your prime real estate to ensure that you have an opportunity to get some extra value from it. Okay, so I am going to go into a free program. Okay, so you guys are still seeing, I'm going into canva.com. Now, Canva, so you don't have to be a fantastic designer to create something for LinkedIn for your banner. You can go and create a free profile on canva.com, go create a design, go LinkedIn banner, and it's not exactly the same LinkedIn, the proper LinkedIn size, but it's more or less the right amount. And you can go and choose from certain templates, change the pictures, you can change the photo, play around with Canva. It's really a powerful tool for those of us that are not graphic designers, but wanting to get great ideas. So take the opportunity to utilize as many free tools as you can during this time. Now, one of the most common questions that gets asked from me is, should I take LinkedIn Premium? My answer is simply no. It's not going to get you more leads. It's not going to do anything special for you if you don't know how to use the free version first. So use the free version to the maximum before you go into premium, because the maximum will tell you you can't do any more searches. You're going to have to go into premium. It kind of does some restrictions, but you won't see that if you're not active. So until you get to the restriction level, carry on just using the free version. You've got the system I'm using right now, this anymeeting.com, is free. So, hi Knox, sorry, I didn't see your message until now. The system I'm using, they've made available for free until the end of December 2020, where you can host live webinars, meetings, interactive, like you can see, for up to 200 people, free. Look for free tools that you can utilize to add value into your community at the moment. So this tool that I'm using right now is free. Canva is free. There is paid version, and I'm on a paid version, but I utilize the free version first. Has so much value. LinkedIn is free, so utilize it as much as you can, and you don't have to pay premium. No extra cash flow out your pocket. To edit anything on your LinkedIn profile, you click on the little pen button. If you are a graphic designer, I know plenty of people are, you click on, hover over the pen button, and it actually gives you the dimensions that you need to design your graphic. But please, when you guys are looking to design your graphics, make sure there is nothing behind the photo. So sometimes this photo is in the middle on certain mobile devices and on the left-hand side when you are on the computer. So I use the retail space that you have is at the top and on the right-hand side of your banner. You can utilize it as much as possible, but don't have it hidden. So your face might be hiding your website, for instance. Maybe you put your website details down there or your logo. Make sure that you utilize the retail space as much as possible. Put in your name. Okay, So I got my name right. Well done. Okay, some people put in their name. They've got an MBA, ABC, CPA, all of these wonderful things. Put the name that your mother gave you on here. The rest is searchable on your LinkedIn profile, but people don't want to know that you are this extraordinary person, because sometimes people don't want to connect with someone that's got an MBA, because I don't have an MBA. So maybe this person is not as approachable as I thought they may be. Keep it as simple as possible and it be as approachable as possible. The one thing I forgot to tell you is please smile in your photos. Okay, so what I did a little bit earlier as part of the exercise, I took this photo in January. Yeah. So I decided, well, it's time to update. And because we're doing everything virtually now, I did a webcam photo. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to go and fetch the photos. So I did a few because, you know, being a woman, we take selfies and we have to take a few selfies, and went into the camera roll and took a photo. And now I have a photo that is today, recent. But sometimes us ladies want a little bit of a filter. LinkedIn has a little bit of filter options. So we can change the information, well, change the photo just a little bit. I actually like that one better than the original. It lights it up a bit more. No, actually, illuminate. Let's see. Yeah, original stays best. And then I apply. So here's an opportunity to make sure you have the most up-to-date photo. And I kept my earphones on specifically because we're in a virtual mode, so I'm ready to speak to people right now. Click on save after you've made any changes. Otherwise, you are not going to see the change. Quick, easy, no fuss. Click on edit with the pen again. We're going to scroll further down. Your headline should not tell me that you are the CEO, ABC of ABC Shoes, I don't know, all those wonderful titles that we give ourselves. This needs to tell someone, how do you add value? Now, typically in a marketing situation, what you want to do is your banner should say something about what you do. Now, if you're a small business owner, you say something about what you do in terms of how you add value. The second one in your headline tells a little bit more about how you add value. So I'm passionate about helping businesses strategize B2B marketing, focusing on LinkedIn first. So I differentiate myself from all the other marketers out there because I understand LinkedIn, and that's my niche. Whatever your business niche is what should be showing first on your LinkedIn profile. Whether you are this amazing accountant, amazing salesperson, amazing PA, whatever you are, make sure that that shows up first. Because remember, you are trying to say something with someone who's going to look at your profile for a few seconds and make a decision if they're going to continue engaging with you or not. Make sure you have your current position put in. If you don't have a formal education in terms of an institution that actually has a profile on LinkedIn, if I say save, now you can see that Franklin Covey doesn't have a company educational page. But if most institutions like WITS and all of those have institutional educational pages, so link yourself back to that. If you have not got yourselves, sorry, wrong button. If you have not updated that information, what's going to happen is you're showing that my education on your intro, and you've got Institute of Marketing Management, and that's, you click on save, and suddenly that should pop up. But yes, the joys of technology doesn't always work the way you want it to work. So you've got an option to put in whether you want to show it or not, because you don't want any gray buildings. The gray buildings suggest, from a psychological perspective, that I didn't actually attend there. It's not a real institute. It's funny. We're very brainy people, and a lot of psychology goes into marketing. And that's one of the things that you want to make sure that if you're going to show your information, you show it, that it's linking back. Otherwise, if there is nothing linking back, then take out show that my education and intro. So LinkedIn has since updated location. I am now needing to put in my location. So if we say Johannesburg, I have to be very specific. Oh, Johannesburg, Gauteng. Okay. And then put in your industry. So remember, people are going to search by industry, by a whole lot of things when they're doing a search parameter to find out who you are and where you are and who and if they can actually find your profile. So make sure that you have all the necessary information linked to your profile. That's just the first top part. If you're open to job opportunities, I'm open to job opportunities, but in a way that I'm a contractor. So I have told people that it's contract and part-time. I am not available permanent because I love what I do too much. So I work with a lot of different companies, a lot of different agencies, but on a contract basis, not on a full-time basis. So if you are looking for a job, make sure that you put the information in there, that you're open to job opportunities, and put more details in. Providing services. So this is when you are a business and LinkedIn decides who gets that. So if you don't see that on your profile, LinkedIn hasn't decided that you warrant that opportunity just yet. So if you have got it, then you put in what are your services that you provide and what are you available to work remotely, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's from providing services. Your about section, your summary section should be telling us even more. But I know, and now this is the time where you guys really listen up. I know that people do not read everything on my summary section. Why? Because drop me an email or visit my website, book your free profile assessment today for free. And has anybody taken me up on that? Probably 5 people over the last 3 years has taken me up. I know that all of you are going to take me up on that now. Once you're done with your LinkedIn profile, you're going to pop me a note and say, please do a profile assessment, which is fine. I'm happy to do that. But this is my point, is that people don't read your profile, but everything is searchable. So things about me. So to prove a point, in my very first position, so I know that we are on 30 minutes. So if you guys have a few more minutes, I can carry on. Just let me know if you've got a few more minutes. Thumbs up. If you've got a few more minutes and we can continue a little bit more. Yay. Okay, so let's continue some more. Okay, so in my very first position, straight out of school. Now, this is freshly out of matric. I was temping at somewhere else and then started at what was then Credit Underwriting Agency and is now Coface. Now, as you can see, I've got in here other ways to spell my name. For instance, how many times, I know Knox probably has it all the time, people misspell your name. Now you have an opportunity to put all the different ways people misspell your name with a comma in between. Now you say, but how's that going to help? I have a client, and now he's going to laugh when he sees this video. I said to him, no one's going to say anything about your nickname. They're not going to search you on your nicknames. But he decided he was going to definitely put in his nickname. So I said, no, you can't. But he has, and he does, and he still does. So when we search Twinkies, as in toes, yes, you can laugh now, up comes Peter Boyson's. What does that mean? Every single word on your LinkedIn profile is searchable, right down to the very first position that you ever had. So you're not setting up your LinkedIn. You're not setting up your LinkedIn for the a way of saying, oh, okay, I don't want people to think I've got a CV. I'm not looking for a job. You're setting up your LinkedIn because You are looking for new business. You are looking for other opportunities. You want to make sure you're being found. It doesn't matter. There's a reason why we say when we take on a new client, we say, give us your full CV so that we can put in the history, because every single word is searchable and we give you credibility. So when you're going down and you're looking and someone is looking for someone who's done accounting, I studied accounting when I finished school. And yes, no, I don't. I outsource my accounting. Yay. No. So think about where you are at right now. Is it something you've studied? No, maybe not. Maybe you're in engineering and now you've got your own business selling hand sanitizers. No, okay, all jokes aside. But if you are doing something totally different to what you studied, I know people that are teachers that are now in the learning and development space because teaching is not for them. Children are not for them. You have an opportunity to make sure that if they're looking for someone who has a history of being a teacher, as well as a learning and development, so someone who can help put content together for children, here's an opportunity where your profile will be found. Every single word is searchable. Make sure that your very first position straight out of school is on your LinkedIn profile. It's not because you are ready to go out into the market if you've got your own business or you're an executive, but it's to ensure that all the information on your LinkedIn profile is there and it's searchable. Okay, I hope I've driven that point across very well. LinkedIn has changed some of their features. I got the new feature today. Yay! So if I'm viewing my own profile, you can feature what content you want people to see as they scroll down. So I can either add new content, so I can just go previous articles and say, okay, I want to feature that one. And I say done. Okay, but I don't want it necessarily there. I want to edit this. So now I go and edit it, and I want this one to be first. Whoops. Okay. This one to be at the top, and I say done. And now that one, when it changes, is the first one to be seen. So you can decide what content you want featured if that tool is released onto your profile. So LinkedIn has a number of different servers, and people do not get the releases all at the same time. Different people have different versions at the same time. I know, because one of the things we do is manage people's LinkedIn profiles. I call them a multiple personality disorder, but is understanding that we see that different people have different. I got this feature today. Some of my clients had it 3 weeks ago already. So you never know what's going to happen, but keep looking, keep changing, keep looking at your profile, keep updating. As you scroll down your dashboard, let me just explain your dashboard quickly. People who have viewed my profile, 444, wow, that's a nice number, have viewed my profile over the last 90 days. My most recent post view, so I posted, come guys, we've got 10 minutes left. So that's my most recent post, 24 views so far in their newsfeed. 83 times my name has come up in search appearances. But that doesn't mean they searched my name. So if I click on it, it will actually tell me that they're looking for a director of construction. I'm definitely nothing of that. But somewhere in my profile, there's the word construction, there's the word director, and that puts the two together. And oh yes, so I'm being found. Make sure you put in as much information as possible. Okay. The rest of your LinkedIn profile, so like you would on a CV, focus and make sure you add in every single experience that you are currently doing. So whatever that looks like, make sure that your past experiences are all in there with all the information about what you did. You can even add pictures. So while I was at Trainiac, what I did was I did a blog called Trainiac Travels, and so some of the pictures I did are up there. And you can upload them, you can share links. So in every single section of your experiences, under each one of the experience, you can add in your company profile, you can add in a whole number of things. Get creative. Make sure that you're adding more information into your LinkedIn profile than less information, because everything is searchable. That's right. Education, add in your education, licenses and certifications. In other words, if you've got a first aid license and you're in the safety and you're a safety, health, and environmental officer, and your first aid license has expired, that's the first place they're going to check. Because one of the things that they need is first aid, fire, whatever it is. If you want to make sure that you're in that field and you've got a real valid opportunity, keep your LinkedIn updated with all the current certifications that you have. Volunteer experience, make sure you add in your volunteer experience. We all have an opportunity to add value into businesses, into the people around us, into the community. Remember that corporates and most companies have some sort of a CSI, project communications, whatever that looks like. You want to make sure that if they want to make sure that they're going to give you a project, but they also want to know that you as a person is giving back into the community. This is the one way to make sure that they see that you're adding value into the community around you. Now, one of the profile must-haves, we said you've got 50 skills and endorsements. If you look, you want to make sure that every single one is actually added into your LinkedIn profile. If I click on add new skill, it will tell me I've already got 50 skills. I can't add any more. So you've reached the limit of 50, which is fantastic. Here's the other thing. Only the top 3 are the ones that people see first. Go to your editing tool. So the little pen again, unpin the ones you don't want and pin the ones you want. Plus, you can put whatever you want on the top and change it and move it around. This is a lot of information, but you've got 21 days to update your LinkedIn profile. So I suggest you get down and do it. Okay. Are you all still with me? Another 2 minutes. Just checking, all still with me? Yeah. Okay. So as we go down, now this section is, as a small business, is possibly the most important section. I started with this section while I was in corporate. And this is your recommendation section. So I asked my peers and clients to endorse me. You can ask Ben, he's been asked. He was a previous client of ours. What you're wanting to do is add in the recommendations saying that what it is you're doing. So, I would suggest you guys connect with one another on LinkedIn that are here in this training session so that you guys can endorse each other in terms of the skill sets. Because the more endorsements you have, the higher you are on the search list. But from a recommendation perspective, this is where you have to know the person in order to give them a good recommendation. So you can't just randomly, I've had people ask me, I've never met in my life before, ask me for a recommendation. And I'm going, dude, then you'll end up kind of more blocking them than anything else. But what you want to do here is people that have actually utilized your services, you can then also take this information and put it as testimonials on your website. Why? Because this is live on your website as well. Take this information, utilize it, create something with it as part of a process. If you're looking for a new job, guess where recruiters look? They're looking at the recommendation section. Does your boss recommend you? Does your peers recommend you? It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have worked on the same project together, but as a character builder. So what is your character like? Can people talk to your character? Friends, family, that's where I started. I started asking my friends, asking my family, asking my colleagues and co-workers. Then I reached out and started expanding myself and getting out of my little box and asking other people to give me recommendations. We're all scared of recommendations, but this is an active letter of reference. What I mean by active, someone can click on Buzz at any one point and say, hey, Buzz, I see that you gave Noleen a recommendation. Please tell me a little bit more about Noleen and what she does. Before they've even spoken to me. This is such a powerful tool, and I have got business because of this, okay? The rest of your LinkedIn profile, you've got courses, you've got languages. Some people speak like 5 or 6 different, I'm lucky that I speak Kwak and English and Afrikaans. So, yes, so you can laugh, and but I have limited language skills. But you've got people that are looking for someone who can speak French because they live in Mozambique. So they're needing, Portuguese because they're living in Mozambique. So they're looking for someone who can help with training and development because they can speak English, Afrikaans, and Portuguese. You've got an opportunity that you didn't even have before because of the fact that you now expanded your information on your LinkedIn profile because it's searchable. Okay. To add additional profile sections, here's a blue button over here that says click add profile section, your intro, your about section, your featured section, so your posts, articles, it actually has that there now. Background, so your work experiences, your education, license, your volunteer experience, skills, make sure you've got all your 50 skills, accomplishments, so you've got publications, patents, courses, projects, honors and awards, Business Entrepreneur of the Year award, I'm sure lots of you have got so many wonderful awards and you haven't put them in here. Okay, test scores, yeah, no, that for me, I stay away from, but that's just me. Languages and organizations. In other words, what organizations are you affiliated to? If you're an accountant and you're affiliated to SAICA, make sure that you'll put it in, that you're FICA registered and all of these wonderful things, depending on what industry you're in and what requirements are required. Put in every single profile section. So to conclude, just because this is just around LinkedIn profile setup, what I want you guys to do now is to go back to your own, the recording will be available, but go back to your LinkedIn profile, work from the top of your profile to the bottom of your profile, adding as much content as you can, okay? Drop me a note on LinkedIn and say, Noleen, please just check my profile and make sure I've got all the information in there. And I will do it with the greatest of pleasure. It might take a couple of days, depending on with all this challenge I've put myself in. So putting my name out there saying 21 days, making a difference, just facilitating the process has resulted in lots of time. But I really believe that if you guys, whoever of you also want to add value in terms of this session, all the sessions will be recorded. I've already got a YouTube channel. I'll just upload them all onto the YouTube, onto LinkedIn, Facebook, all of those places, so that we can share and collaborate as a community. I hope this has been of value to you. If you have any questions, pop me a message, pop me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions. If you want to actually be a presenter, let me know what the date and time is, and we will take it from there. Is everybody cool? Everybody's good. And I really appreciate your time. I know that you've taken some valuable time out, but now we're all sitting at home and having the time. So add value to those around you. Once it's uploaded, share with others, because this is really something that can help people with jobs, with business, with anything. Just a plain, simple, proper LinkedIn profile setup can help you do wonders, because that is your first impression. So take care of yourself, guys. Stay locked down. Love you lots, and we will see you tomorrow, 4 o'clock, for a gym session. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that because my legs are going to kill me. But yes, we're going to be doing gym tomorrow. Have fun and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.